let's begin. Hey. Hopefully everyone's doing great today. Yes. Awesome. Starting a little early today. Very early. Well, actually, pretty early. Early is good. Sometimes. Well, it can certainly be. It can also be a nightmare. All right. No, I am not singing. I am not dinner in a show. Maybe I am. I've heard I'm somewhat probably. How are we this afternoon, chat? It's kind of ugly and yucky outside where I live. I mean, I'm not even joking. It's awful outside looking. How are we today? Hopefully, all of you are warm. If you live in the area I live, about, slightly north of 0 degrees Celsius, maybe 5 or 10 above. If you're in the Celsius department, maybe 0 on the nose, depending on where you are in the country. So, yeah, not pleasant. Doesn't look like I have an echo this time. Monthly report is up. Sure, if that interests a lot of people, but kind of in a phase where I'm waiting to see what TIG does with, you know, the game as the year creeps along. We're already in February and stability right now just sucks. Sure, a lot of people are praying we get some more stability in SC so badly. Oh, hopefully my sound is coming through decent. where to begin today? I Hey, Squirrel Lord, '07 brother. What's up, man? What up? See you. Yeah, the new monthly report just dropped, I believe, a few hours ago, maybe an hour ago. So, I'm looking that up. There's some interesting things they worked on. In addition to the stability, they're finding time to work on some other interesting things, which shouldn't surprise anyone. Just a second. Got it. Hmm. All right. So the PU monthly report, the AI, okay, it begins with AI content. The AI content team began this year prototyping an upcoming NPC, which will utilize an amalgamation of several behavior types. So, like, it's a prototype. Okay. Work was done on a proprietary tool that will allow the designers to generate script. Yeah, no worries, man. Hey, thank you for at least popping in to say hi. I appreciate you for showing up. See you later, man. You have a safe day at work. Tool that will allow the designers to designate a script in engine to ensure dialogue flows, to ensure the lines work as intended. Will allow for more efficiency in writing and capturing a future character. They're beginning to update the landing zones. Now, here's something interesting, chat. Each of Stanton's landing zones, probably Grimhex as well, will have its own bespoke air traffic controller. Its own air traffic controller. Think about that for a minute. Apart from Grimhex, none of these places have a different air traffic control. You know, the one that goes, "Welcome to Grimhex." You know, the creepy screaming yeah. That. Now that they're getting thinking about divert or making them different, which to me will add more character to each of these landing zones. It's a good move. Honestly, I hope we see more of that. While there is still time, some required tech validation, these characters will start appearing soon. So, we're going to have to keep our eyes out for that in the long run. It's going to be interesting. I mean, they've needed a brand, individual air traffic controllers at these landing zones for a long time. That gives them character, a lot of character. Just an opinion, chat. All right. Finally, the designers continue their ongoing review of Stanton. Now, that wording suggests we're moving to the final phases of building Stanton, but that leaves some questions with the wording. Remember, there's a missing object, the Bear Comet, the gates that were initially planned between, you know, two of the planets, either Microtech or Crusader. I can't remember which of the two. But there were these gates that were planned to separate inner from the outer part of the system in Stanton. And that's apparently not happening anymore. So I find it very interesting they use the term ongoing review of Stanton. Does that mean they're looking at a way to finalize the development? Very curious wording. I mean, I could be wrong. What do you guys over on Kick think? You think they could be finalizing the development of Stanton or reaching a point where they need to validate putting anything else in? Could it be we've reached the point where we're happy with the development, or maybe they need to put something in for review? What do you guys think? I don't mean to call out individual platforms since I'm on 4, but that seems like that's where a lot of people are today, so. I mean, you guys' opinions are just as good as mine, but yeah. I got no clue what they're thinking. Yeah, it's kind of suspicious, that wording. At least to me. I mean, why word it that way? It's kind of weird. At least to me. I don't know. Maybe I'm just. So they're refactoring, working on GrimHack. He refactor the population to ensure it's using the correct behaviors and acting appropriately. Sounds like they're on a final polish push for Stanton. And that's kind of interesting because Stanton has long been in development for a long, long time. A very long time. Anyways, moving on to AI features. AI features' primary focus this month was between bug fixes and creature behavior improvement. For example, the code for throwing grenades was updated, unifies some of the code paths. This gives more consistent functionality between cover and open space launches. But does throwing a grenade still suck to the point where it'll hit you and blow up in your face? That's what I'm curious about. Yeah. I still don't trust grenades. For human combat behavior, friendly fire checks were updated to not consider the large bounding boxes of vehicles as friendly, which could block firing. For creatures, the team focused on improving the Valakar's, proving again it's in active development. We are working hard to make sure this creature arrives in hands in the best possible way. AI features. The devs are currently looking at expanding the system to be more dynamic and better support dynamically spawned entities. The first use case is the quasi grazer, as having a better understanding of the group they will belong to will improve the look and behavior of the herd. AI features also continue to sync their work between projects to ensure that improvements made to Squadron 42 are available for use in the PU as quickly as possible. That's kind of comforting, but we'll see. Like anything else, we shall see. AI game intelligence development team. The JID team continued their work on Starscript, with January's goal being the implementation of the Views feature. This was requested by the designers who consider it a significant feature of the tool. The work involved creating the Views object and Views folder in the Smart Online, managing Views functionalities, ordering and deleting views, and grouping graphs. It also involved presenting views and its header in the script graph, implementing back and forth functionality. Man, I cannot spell today. Once GID begins implementing Starscript's new master graph design, which will be presented in sanctioned format rather than a global displays in Apollo. This means it'll be viewed from the perspective of the selected state. This visual design needed for each hierarchical state. A visual improvement was also made to the automatic parenting groups for parallel and selector. This is the AI team, and they're using very big words that I do not know about. I don't understand half these complicated words, folks. QA is currently testing the tool to ensure identify any issues following procedure. Holy cow. Man, I can't spell with a flip today. Sorry, I kind of froze up there for a second. Let's finish. AI tech. AI tech began the year fixing bugs, improving features, and kicking off new tech. For the latter, work began on the new 3D pathing implementation that will give better results for tight spaces or areas with concave shapes. This will also be utilized by ship AI. When traversing complex asteroids or space stations and can be used by NPC when EVAing inside of ships. The internal start script tool. Okay, there's start and star script. Which is it? I don't believe I know which one. Received multiple usability improvements for creating new behaviors and missions. AI Tech also finalized December's work on the chase and melee attack movement requests, which deliver a boost in both performance and visual fidelity compared to the previous implementation. The conversation system is also receiving updates to how avoidance bubbles are computed so that NPCs don't disturb an ongoing conversation. In other words, to make them seem more realistic. Gotcha. For 4.0.1, let me see. For 4.0.1, fixes were made to the navigation and Boyd system. Alongside this, planning was done for this year for this work to fully synchronize AI components with server meshing authority transition and other features and systems planned for development this year. Animation. The gameplay animation team began the year working on the Copian Hound and various sizes of Elokar. So we're getting the whole kit and caboodle this year. They also created facial animations for various characters, PU characters and events, and worked alongside the AI designers for more robust social AI behavior. AI for the Spec Ops set alongside two others is underway to add more challenge to gameplay. Art, character. In January, the character team continued working on Starware Art Det. They also modified the Duster armor, progressing with a stealth armor. Good. So they are working on the stealth armor. Good to hear. Designed a new backpack, developed additional creature variants for future patch releases. I'm assuming Copian, not Copian, probably Marok, Allopret, and maybe a couple of other creatures. Hopefully. I know the Marok only has one type, so hopefully it gets some subtype. We'll see. Okay. The concept art team also explored various ideas for new items and various ideas for various new items and are currently looking into paints for existing armors. That's going to be good. Paint schemes for existing armors, you bet. Yep. That's going to be a hot sell. Yep. The community team kicked off the year by announcing the winners of the Gift That Keeps On Giving contest to showcase what was coming up. They released an epic month ahead comlink, which reviewed the events planned for the rest of January into February. The team also managed the first revamped Squadron 42 newsletter alongside a contest that offered the chance to win a page of sheet music from the 42 score. They also supported the Fight for Pyro monthly global event with miscellaneous publishing tasks and a comprehensive information. Lastly, but most importantly, the team carried on evergreen tasks together on gathering, distributing feedback directly related to development. Is already deep in discussion on how they can shed more light on details on any ongoing issues the community may be encountering. Okay. Yeah, I'm going to have to mute email. Uh-oh. All right. Sorry about that. I was waiting for a phone call to go. The team continued to support Red Festival 2955, including a catch-all post, the envelope, the verse in kindness screenshot, a referral bonus, and an updated Arena Commander schedule. Additionally, something I did for the third year in a row, chat. This was my third go round. Maybe fourth now. Yeah. Might actually be fourth as an independent. At Morelli. God. and began planning for this year's Bar Citizen World Tour alongside a variety of other event-related initiatives. We're eagerly looking forward to meeting you all across the globe as we continue Bar Citizen World Tour in 2955. Really looking forward to meeting you all across the globe as we continue the Bar Citizen World Tour 2025. We welcome your input on future locations, whether you're interested in smaller group ups or larger gatherings. We want to hear your suggestions. Click here for full details. Community team. Huh? How come I can't update? Oh. Well, that's kind of weird. Um, I threw my hat in the ring. Sorry, I got distracted, chat. Trying to throw my hat in the ring with the popularity contest is troublesome, as y'all might assume. Case in point, don't do that. Yeah. I mean, I get it, but man. I kind of want these guys to come visit I've been doing Bar Citizen in Oklahoma City for 4 years now, almost. And I would love to have them visit. Well, alrighty. Alrighty. That's why I'm getting an echo. Echoing. Okay, so what am I looking for? All right. So where the heck was I am completely lost where I was. Okay, so I'm after the community part for the core gameplay. All right. Core gameplay. The core gameplay team investigated and improved many improvements or issues found during 4.0 Alpha's live alpha preview. Some of these proved difficult to reproduce and resolve, leading to a few false positive fixes. Teams are currently expanding their debugging tools and logging to better understand future problems and ensure the correct solutions are applied. Well, duh. The we have to remember, chat. A lot of the back end infrastructure changed massively when server meshing came online. I mean, enormously. Did you not? The infrastructure for the actual game changed immensely. A lot of people forget that. Well, or don't pay attention to it. I don't know. Not their faults, but with everything going on, it is kind of so. For gameplay, also began planning for the rest of the year, laying the groundwork for upcoming patches and planned features and content, which we won't know anything about probably till May. Alongside this, technical documentation was created for fundamental improvements or rewrites to some of the core systems, including, praise, thank you, the transit and hangar flow. This involved cross-team collaboration to ensure the improvements are not solely on the game side, also support content setup and the latest engine features. So they're working on some level of the factor. Is that what I'm reading? Some level of it, not the actual refactor. Like some level of improvement they can roll out in the meantime. Economy. The economy team kicked off the year gathering feedback and data regarding the changes they implemented in 4.0. They then tweaked commodity prices and fixed several issues in Pyro. Mission design team spent time fixing bugs for Fight for Pyro, ensuring it was ready for release. Following this, they continued the ongoing mission refactor, shared an update on the statuses of old missions, Spectrum, some of which did not make people happy. They also continued to create new unannounced content that will improve quality of all missions, including retroactively improving all existing. I think I didn't read this. In addition, the team fixed any remaining issues for the 4.0.1 patch, gathered mission text, location strings, and records for the new content coming in upcoming release. Online Tech. In January, the Live Tools team released a major new feature to manage and access and permissions in a more granular, versatile way. They're currently gathering feedback from the different users to discuss future improvements. During the holiday break, the online services team continued to add various improvements to the ongoing mission system refactor, including global events and new features. Furthermore, the social and entity subscription services also received various improvements. In the last week of January, both teams met in the Montreal office to establish and plan their 2025-26 roadmaps. This planning session resulted in more surprises we will share with you in the coming months. Can y'all just put a unified roadmap out there, folks? Come on. Oh, 07 Nicholas, how are you today? Hopefully well. Saw you pop in. Hope you're doing well. R&D. The R&D team began January investigating rare PU crashes inside the planet spawning code. A bug was found inside the serialization framework, causing a concurrency issue with on-demand type ID generation. A fix was made that is now live in the PU. Moreover, work started on prototyping a new method for large-scale soft terrain shadow generation to improve quality while reducing the fairly high cost of generating the needed shadow maps. As mentioned in October's report, work on rain volumes inspired a prototype for improved ground fog rendering. This will be cheaper to evaluate and render and improve the modeling aspect of ground fog and its lighting by self-shadowing and creating shadows like rain volumes and clouds. Work began on transforming the prototype into production. So this is in work right now for a version of Weather VFX. For Alpha 4.0.1, VFX team worked on the Fortune and elements of another vehicle, which will be shared soon. A big push was made on previous location work that hadn't been ready for polish at the time of 4.0's release. Okay. So I would rate this as short and sweet, to the point. There's a few nuggets of things they're working on. New armors, new this, that, and everything else. New ATC versions coming out. among other things. Yeah, I don't know, chat. All right. Jeez, jeez. Mr. Yeah, friggin' tired, man. Holy cow. Sorry. Phone was going bonkers. Well, Here's the thing. I understand, right? All this stuff, but man, what else could I? Well, there's ship promotions and shit this month. Unless you're a Collectopedia or a Lovebird, don't bother with this, please. Damn it. Talk about a throat tickler. Damn. Excuse me. Jesus. Well, I don't really want this stuff. Even though something tells me it's already in my hanger, sadly. I got the love seat, which I'm fine with. Holy crap. The bed? That bed is just like, why? That's her. That is definitely for people who are very vain. I mean, holy cow. Whew. I've seen some vain stuff, but man. That right there takes the cake, folks. I mean, who okay. A serious question. Who's gonna buy that? It's I might just for a joke factor, for a joke gift, but I ain't ever using that, you know. I'm like, yikes. Big yikes there. My in-game character would look at me like, "Are you kidding me?" Are you kidding me right now? You want me to sleep on that? Never mind. I have this. So this, okay, the 14th, chat. 14th will be, the day that they do, what is it? Golly, what is it called? That the heart holiday. Foramore. That's it. Foramore. So I'm willing to bet that if they're showing this stuff off early, we're going to have a Super Hornet Mark II. Wonder what it'll look like. Probably just like the old Super Hornet. It's a little more HP and a bit stronger weapons. From what I've heard, rumors, because I'm not going to show anything. There are twin Size 4 Revenants up top on the Heartseeker Mark II. Which, oh my gosh, that's a lot of firepower just for those two guns. You can take on heavier ships with that. Easily. Oh. Hey, Shimpasta, my man, what's up? Yeah. The Shimp of Pasta is here. No, it's only Wednesday. It's Hump Day, yeah. Sorry. I'm evil. Doubtful. It'll be a miracle if that fits in the Heartseeker's bed or whatever. That'd be a... At least you're not lying around. No, wait. You haven't been knocked off your feet to sleep. Okay. I kill myself. Oh no, I need to stop. I need to stop. All jokes aside, even though you can make so many jokes with this bed, I kid you not. I mean, who's gonna buy this? A pirate wants to look at this and be like, yeah, mate, I'll take it and I'll put it in my room and it'll go right next to the severed heads I got. Yeah, okay. A pirate would not have this in his room. He would be embarrassed. Can you imagine on inspection day, Bob buys one of these beds and the main bad dude's coming through and he's like, Bob, come here, Bob. What's up, Buzz? You and me are pals, right? I'm your boss, right? Come here. What the hell is that? Everyone else runs very quickly for corners of the room. Bob left in middle of room, shitting his pants. I mean, I can imagine some scenarios like that. Can't you, Shimpasta? Oh, sorry. I guess you missed me. Sorry. That's my fault. Maybe we had a cutoff or something? Kind of odd. Maybe my mic didn't catch that. That was really weird. That's a good question, Shimpasa. I'm hoping for a half bag, half updates, half maybe some bug fixes. That's what I'm hoping for. You know, maybe some, hey, this is what's going to happen in the next quarter or so. You know, because here it is, March, almost March, dude. Tomorrow, look at my calendar. Tomorrow and Friday will be the end of the first week of February. We're 2 months into the new year. We need to get a timeline on what they're working on this year. You know? Did you get all that? Hang on. I wonder if you can even hear me. The transit refactor is a big ask, yeah. Is this making sure? Because I've been having some microphone issues for a bit that have not resolved themselves, sadly. Yeah. I heard also the new Heartseeker apparently has twin size 4 Revenant guns on the roof. That's a mean little jerk. It might even have a size 2 shield generator. That's the rumor, anyways. A size 2 shield and size, 4 twin Revenants. That's a lot of power. That's almost better than the F7A Mark II, in my opinion. By the way, CIG's trying to get answers for places they want people to go. I voted Oklahoma City, my location nearby. We've yet to have CIG officially visit our bar, Citizen, but it's kind of a big ask where we live. Sadly, bar, Citizen. Yeah. It's expensive to get people down here. I'm just really upset that 4.0 is in the state it's in. Terrible. 4.0 is absolutely awful right now. I've barely played in the last, X number of weeks, and it's just garbage. For good reason, too. Yeah, they need to get people out there and fix it immediately. Like all this patch buffering, it's a need. It needs to be done. You know? Absolutely does. By the way, there's an ad break coming in 2 minutes 30 seconds, just so you know. Sorry about that, Shimpasa. I am going to start notifying people of that. Do you see a notification for ads at all? Just a curious question. Sometimes. That's very interesting. I might have to check my settings to see what's going on with that. That's weird. Yeah. Twitch being a butt, and their garbage code. Yep. I don't think Twitch has changed in more than 30 years or 15 years. If I'm being honest. I mean, let's be real. Hang on just a minute. I'm going to check my dinner. I'm not going anywhere. I'm not, leaving. I'm just checking my food. Gonna make sure it's not going all El Scorcho. Be right back. I'm not going anywhere, Shimpasta. Just gonna go check my food because it's in a crock pot. Sure it's not scorching. Hang on. Probably another hour or two on the soup. Basically cooking a soup. Food good. Yes, it is. Food very good for Shimpasta too. Pasta, good food. Yep. Yeah, I'm cooking potato cheddar soup or something like that. I forget what it is exactly, but it's good. It smells great, but it's just not hot enough yet. There's still too much liquid. I hate it when it's that way. Hey, did you read the monthly report? There's some interesting. Yeah. Okay. I want to go over that real quick. That was their smartest decision in a long time. Long time, Shimpasa. I totally agree with that comment you just posted. Canceling the free fly? Yeah, that was a good idea. Very good idea. Why? Because it is in such a garbage state right now that I wouldn't want anyone playing it long term for fear of them losing stuff out of their permanent account. I mean, sure, they're gathering data on it, but so what? It can also be done other ways too. Yeah, good point. Astropub's the one to get the important things to read. The shorthand version, I recommend myself. I recommend Astropub to do the in-depth stuff. Yeah. I'll go over it here in a minute if you want, but make a clip of about what I'm about to say. Hang on. Before I do, I want you to make this a clip. Okay? Tell me when you're recording. The reason I'm glad. Okay, hold on. Tell me when you're ready. 3, 2, 1. Okay, I'm going to start. The reason I am glad CIG canceled the Red Festival 2955 Free Fly is because the game at that point was in a terrible state. And it would have led to a lot of new players totally throwing away their accounts or not coming back. And that is not a good state for the game to be in. And I don't think a lot of people would like that. How is that, Shimpasta? All right. I mean, the game was in such an awful state. I wouldn't let my brother play it. All righty. All righty. So I'm gonna go over the turn it. Not what I'm looking for. Okay. Turn it. I'm missing something. All right. You still there, Shimpasta? Huh. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. Gotcha. Oh, stupid. Stupid. Oh, hang on. Let me double check that. CIG canceled the Red Festival 2955 Free Fly is because the game at that point was in a terrible state. and it would have led to a lot of new players totally throwing. Looks good, Shimpasta. Well done. You can always. Yeah, okay, yeah, that's a good idea. Good idea. Got a good point. Oh, shoot. Resend it. Resend it. I deleted it. Crap. Please resend through Whisper. Sorry about that. I just, oh my gosh. Got it. Anyways, now that that's been taken care of for future reference, yeah, me and my buttery fingers. We are gonna reread the monthly report. The monthly report for January had some interesting tidbits. Now this is pretty. Where is this? Is this Monox? Where is this? This is not Stanton. There's nowhere in Stanton like this. That's Bloom. Oh, that's Bloom. Hey, Osprey. What's up? Yeah. How's the patches treating you today, Osprey? Any good? Or just terrible? So in the European Union servers, you're having no issue. Okay. That's interesting. Elevators are broke. Not again. Why? Just why? There's that refactor we need, Shimpasta. Yep. There's that refactor we need so madly. Terrible. Angry emote. There. That's how I feel about that. Angry emote. People running around not being able to get in elevators at stations. So I've been telling people to bed log on ships. Probably a good idea. Yeah. NPCs not showing up at missions, Shimpasta says over on Twitch. So, yeah. Definitely. There's a lot of stuff. Haven't had that issue. The FPS content. Lucky Osprey. I wouldn't call it luck, but yeah. You guys are pretty right, though. At the very least, CIG is actively trying, so I give them credit. Yeah. Hey, Osprey, jump into workspace creation for a bit. Let's talk about this for a bit if you've got time. If you want to add some commentary, or if you have time. Can't voice channel at the moment. No worries. I'll sit here for a bit. Yeah, 30 minutes is perfect. Me and Shimpasta should still be here, right, Shimpasta? I think you're actually the person who's commented the longest on I'm gonna have a guest on here in 30 minutes here, Shimpasta. So yeah. It's not just gonna be my boring voice. Thankfully. Even though my voice is, in my opinion, El Magnifico. I don't think a lot of people think it is. Yeah, this is Bloom. Let's read about the monthly report. The AI content, they're working on a prototype. Shimpasta, look at this, of an NPC that will utilize an amalgamation of several behavior types. So it's like a prototype of a true AI. Work was done on a proprietary tool that will allow, yeah, it's an upcoming NPC. So more like a follower type NPC. That's what I gather from it. Because remember, in Skyrim, we had similar NPCs that were like that. You could converse with them, tell them go this way, that way, attack a target, you know. You had stuff like that. Remember? This will allow more efficiency in running and capturing. They're also updating the landing zones with bespoke air traffic controllers that better represent the city. While there is some required technical validation, these characters will start appearing soon. So we're going to have individualized air traffic controllers for the landing zones, which means we're going to have more than just please proceed to assign landing bay and welcome to Grimax. Sorry. Mr. Guy that's being strangled to death. And yes, he does sound like that, newcomers to chat. Ask Shimpasta. He's annoyed the very sad Stringly man a lot. I mean, it's very funny. Trolling's what pasta do best, yes. I mean, okay. An NPC I can imagine from Orison. Let's see. Welcome to Orison. What is it? Attention. You are entering Orison air traffic controlled space. Please identify yourself. You know, kind of similar to that. And Hurston Dynamics would be attention, you're entering Hurston occupied airspace. Please announce your designator or we're going to have issues. Right? The Hursons are, of course, going to be gruff about it and be jerks. Kinda, sorta. Let's be real. So, okay. They're also doing something related to Grimm to ensure the behaviors work fine. Something with the population density of NPCs. In January, the primary focus was split between creature behavior improvements and AI fixes or bug fixes. For example, the code for throwing grenades was updated to unify some of the code stuff. This gave more consistent functionality between cover and open space launches. I'll believe it when I see it. When I don't just pull out a pin and the grenade blows up in my hand. That has been a long-term bug for grenades in Star Citizen. You pull the pin and it go boom in your hands. Right? I think a lot of people forget that. Who don't use grenades? Yeah. The grenades go boom because they don't leave your hand. Or did they ever fix that bug? It's a big problem, yeah. Let's see. For human combat behavior, friendly fire checks were updated to not consider the large boxes of vehicles as friendly, which could block firing. Well, I mean bounding boxes. I don't think they did. They would have told us if they did. Normally. For creatures, they're working on the Valacar. This tells me this is heavy in development. They're also looking at a group system for herd animals. This right here is pretty much for herd animals and pack animals. And they're also working at ensuring projects that ensure that were in 42 are being implemented into the PU are getting transferred over as quickly and efficiently as possible. Which, let's face it, that's needed to be a thing for a while now. As Squadron 42 gets more and more complete, more and more of these, complete projects can be shuffled over. The GID tool is being worked on with the implementing of the views feature. God, I can't spell. Views object, views folder. This is basically for game intelligence development. I don't know anything about this. This is basically AI. AI Tech began the year fixing bugs and improving features and kicking off new tech. They're working on pathfinding implementation for tight spaces and areas with concave shapes. So they'll also be utilized by ship AI when traversing complex asteroids or space stations, and can be used by NPCs while EVAing inside ships. So this is telling us at some point gravity is going to go whoop, and you're going to go floating. So where's those mag boots, CIG? I want my mag boots. You know? If you're talking about going floating away, where's my magnetic boots, damn it? I would say not currently working, but we'll see. They're working on new behaviors and missions. The chase and melee attack movement requests, which deliver a boost in performance and visual fidelity compared to the previous implementation. The conversation system, which I didn't even know was a thing, also received updates to create like bubbles that are computed so that NPCs don't disturb an ongoing conversation. That means like there's a buffer zone, like you walk out a distance and you won't hear the conversation. Or they'll realize they're disturbing somebody and move away. That's actually a pretty normal behavior for people. Yes, very interesting. I think we saw some of that in the Squadron 42 demo from last year at CitizenCon. Some of that conversation system, you know, where you had to be close enough to actually hear them. Could be wrong. I don't think I am, though. Four point oh fixes were made to the navigation and Boyd system. Hopefully, this means we're going to get more Boyds too this year. They're also synchronizing AI components with server meshing, authority transition, and other features and systems planned for the development of this year. So this is planning done for this. So what do we got here? Main master graph. So this looks like a routine, a pre-routine setup. Usable character moves to route. Usable route in seat. Patrol path route. Assignment reset character. Systemic peaceful. And then when the character gets, I guess, disturbed or activated, they move. Okay, so this is an AI path. Simplified, I guess. You know what I mean, Shimpasta? So this is a visualization of a basic AI path. Very interesting to see stuff like this. Documents like this. Animation, they began to work on the Copian Hound and various sizes of Valkar. So there's a wild Copian and a domesticated version and various sizes of Valkar. I think no, probably not. Well, wait a minute. They already have Copion. So the Copion Hound might be a different species. Shimpasta. Another Doggo of Doom. Very interesting. But the description of hound implies domesticated. Oh, is Shimpasta afraid of buttocks biting? Shimpasta is afraid of getting a bite out of slime. Kidding, I kid. He also created facial animations for various PU characters and events and worked alongside the AI designers on more robust social AI performances. AI for the Spec Ops set, ooh, alongside two others, is currently underway to have more challenge to combat. Now, here's where it gets cool. Listen to this, Shimpasa. In January, Spec Ops. In January, the character team worked on Starware Art Debt. They also modified the Duster armor. How so, I wonder? Progressed with a stealth armor. Designed a new backpack and developed additional creature variants for future patch releases. So here is some pretty juicy stuff. So we have a new armor, a new backpack, a modified version of the Duster set, probably some new stuff of it, and more creature variants. So I say this is a win. January, they weren't being super quiet about, right? And then below that, they're examining ideas for various new items and are currently looking into paint schemes for existing armors. Paint schemes for armors. So are we going to be able to paint our own armor? Or are we getting skins for pre-existing armor? That's kind of odd, don't you think? This is a weird one. Impasta, look here. Currently looking for paint schemes for currently existing armor. What is this all about? Are they going with hex code or what? I'm going to say no. But who knows? I mean, I could be wrong. Skins for armor, yeah. Maybe slight color and shape or alterations. Definitely interesting to think about. Uh-oh. Yeah, skins for armor is kind of one of those weird things to think about. Hold on. Yeah, the community team submitted full works for various contests, month ahead thing. The the Red Festival Fight for Pyro, which had some interesting reveals in the lore. I didn't know if you, but I feel sorry if you're a frontier fighter. Yes, I do. Shimpasta, did you see? If you're a frontier fighter, you are we the bodies? Right? Yeah, frontier fighters got oomph. Oompa Gulp. I see Shimpasta. Gulp. Jim Boss's reaction, gulp. Oh no. That's great. Great response, Shimpasta. Oh no, I like the camo skin, but it comes with a price. You might be enemy of the state now. If you're wondering what I'm talking about, chat, allow me to show you. Spoiler alert, everybody. Have a read. This is yes, very sad. So they were the slicers who we knew nothing about. Yeah. Yeah, that's kind of why I'm glad I didn't choose any sides. Because I'm like, yikes. Frontier fighters are an enemy of the Empire. Yeah, look, this is lore. This is opening lore for the game, chat. Just so you know, this is history in the works. This gets added to your journal. Just so you know. It's unbelievable. Let me explain why this is important, chat. I'm going to explain very quickly why this is an important. Hey, Luna, this is a spoiler, by the way, for the outcome of Pyro and the Frontier Fighters. I'm just saying there's storyline. This is lore that gets added to your journal, which I believe is a first. A first, for Star Citizen. Active lore being added to our books, I guess. Like historical lore. Oh, okay, gotcha, boss man. I'm in Workspace Creations. Okay, no worries. But yeah, I think this might be the first instance, Luna, when you add actual lore to your journal, of active events. Am I wrong, Luna? I don't remember any recent times because this is new. They've never done things like Galnet in Star Citizen at all. It's very new that is a thing. I mean, sure, there are little blurbs here and there, but nothing that's going to fundamentally affect both your lore and your reputation. So that's a massive change. That's why I'm super curious about it, because what does it mean for the rest of the year? Will we have more stuff like this, that'll add more context, more, you know, stuff to the verse? It's definitely exciting. Well, yeah, I'm not trying to say it's 1 to 1, because you have to remember, Luna Maria, like you and I both know, Star Citizen is a much narrower scale. It does. It does. And the Codex in Elite was built up from decades of games, going back as far as the original Elite, back in 1984. You know this. I know this. The original Elite came out in 1984. I think on the Amiga. You might have played it on other systems and such, but it added. It was a ahead of its time game. Not to get off track, but yeah, and it does add a much needed layer of depth. This needs to be a more common occurrence in Star Citizen. Something that affects the very foundation of what you do. Right, Shimpasta? Think about it. You have consequences. And then the system you're in declares the group you're working with illegal. So this adds a layer to the security system, the law system, the background lore for the system. Like, hey, we don't want these guys around here causing trouble. You know, that's what makes it so cool. And I agree with Luna. See, Elite has it down pat. They could totally run the entire game with just the you know, lore system going. Fascinating. So yeah, I love this. And if you read, the CDF is now picking a fight with the Frontier Fighters as an enemy. And now, as a result, any CDF member caught working or providing support to the group will have their membership and outstanding contracts canceled. This applies to a member's actions and behaviors, whether they're in UE jurisdiction or not. So this has lasting and long reaching consequences for working with this group. So, pirates, here's your trade off system right here. You work with the Frontier Fighters. Got to remember, you cannot do business with CDF because your membership is already rated invalid. They literally did a sting operation, it looks like. They were posed as a gang known as the Slicers. Crazy. So they were a Trojan horse, technically. That is crazy. It probably will. Got to remember, Stanton is technically under UEE jurisdiction. Excuse me. You go back into settled space and you've been working with these guys, you're probably going to have a rough time. Well, I wish you luck, pirate friend. We'll see. They might just shoot anything that moves. Yeah. Just saying. So yeah, it's kind of impressive. Man. Right. Hey, Stuff Central, my man. What's up? What up? Man, everybody's coming out of the woodwork tonight. What up, Stuff Central? Hmm. Right. I do think it's hilarious, that they almost got away with it if Citizens for Prosperity hadn't snuck around and crept around and done their homework. Chimpasta, you know. And I would have gotten away with it if it wasn't for you middling kids. Right? Terrence for Prosperity. You're funny. Oh, you're just big mad that you ain't gonna get a nice chair and a throne to do this in. Yeah. You go mow something. Don't worry, Shimpasta. There's something for the noodle, I'm sure. Yeah, it's so yeah. I am gonna have a guest on here as soon as he can be, chat. So he's eating din din, so man's gotta eat. Let's be real. Man's gotta eat. Yeah. So Shimpasta, what do you think our next ship will be after the Heartseeker? We have the Fortune already out, right? Fortune's already out. Oh, that would be nice. I would love the Kraken, but honestly, I think Ironclad and a couple of others might be good. Iron Chad is a very loved ship design. It's a possibility of using it as a mobile base or like traveling around with it. When you think about it, it's very feasible to think of it like that. I mean, a mobile base, yeah. I definitely would use it as a mobile base. Yeah, something like that, Shimpasta. Well, a light carrier, too. Things like gladiuses and stuff you could fit in there. It's a pretty big ship. I mean, the Iron Chad is huge. Now, another ship I'm hoping that does show up, at least in concept, is a bigger version of this and a bigger version of the Vulture. Tell me I'm wrong, Shimpasta. With the input of the Misk Fortune, you wanted a bigger ship, right? I love the Fortune's a good alternative, but it's just still another Vulture, just does things differently. I mean, I get it, but come on, man. I would rather like a slightly larger salvager, not as big as a reclaimer, but still maybe mole size or freelancer size. Something in that size range for a freelancer, or dare I say, Starlancer size salvager. Can you imagine either a freelancer? Okay. Oh, hold on. On that token, this guy right here, take this, slap it on a freelancer frame. You have the Fortune here. What would be a name Misk would use for the freelancer size version? Fortune. Gold Rush. We want to keep it with money names. Greenback would be another name. But Greenback is a very synonymous name. Think of other names, chat. Gold Rush. The free... No. Starlancer Gold Rush. There it is. The Starlancer version would be the Gold Rush. The Greenback would be the freelancer size one. Just an opinion. I'm sure people can think of way better names than I can. That's for sure. And yeah, you see, they're referring to it in monetary. Prospector. What would be another? Hold on. Other. Here's another thing to look up.
Yeah.
Yo.
Well, man.
Well, okay. I thought up of a name for a bigger version of the Misk Fortune. Misk Gold Rush. like the Freelancer or Starlancer size. It would be the
Yeah.
freelance. It would be Starlancer Gold Rush, and then you would have the Freelancer Greenback. Which, if you've ever heard of the term greenback, it's an old word for an old. No. What would be another word for a salvager? Let's see. The fortune is the prospector size. The gold rush, or no. Okay, for the prospector, we have explorer, gold digger, digger, miner, sourdough, and pathfinder.
Yeah.
Sourdough would be a weird name because that refers to food. What do you think, Shimpasta? You got several people listening.
All good, buddy.
The Gold Rush is a good name. Pathfinder sounds good, but that's more of a trailblazing type name. Let's see, prospect. Let's see what all the words are there. There are 41. Oh, God. Another word for prospect. The Misk Excavator, Surveyor, Misk Dredger. Pathfinder sounds good, but Gold Rush goes better, yeah. Oh, here's a good name. The Grave Digger for a salvager, but it's technically a prospector. You know?
Gravedigger sounds like a military ship to me, man.
Yeah. Well, it's maybe a military salvager. Because you're digging them on the graves of soldiers, basically.
Yeah.
I don't know. Mine worker. Spade, mole's used. But if Argo had a bigger one, it'd be the spade. You know? Or maybe the dredger. No, it would be the Argo dredger. Because a mole is small compared to a dredger, right? Or excavator. How about that, Shimpasta? The Argo dredger.
Going on.
Going good. What up? Yeah. By the way, we might be getting color variations for this armor. Go back to your, when you can, safely, Osprey. You can go back to your armor selection. We're going to be getting some armor colorations according to the monthly report.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah, like skins. I bet there'll be non-monetary. I bet there'll be, because they're so small, you know. But be like a slap of a coat of paint. Maybe in the in-game shops, you'll be able to color your armor. Which for orgs will be chef's kiss. Yeah. You will want that for your orgs. Yeah. Shimpasta, I noticed Paul is streaming too. What's he talking about tonight? Out of curiosity. But one thing I noticed, what was I talking? The Fortune is a good ship, but we need a bigger one. But on the monthly report, Osprey, you'll be interested. They're working on a hybrid AI that's supposed to incorporate several behavior types. So like a complex AI. An amalgamation of several types. So that means it's going to be like a boss AI or something? We're also
Alright.
getting landing zones with air traffic controllers that sound different from each other. Instead of please join us in assigned landing bay and welcome to Grimax. You know, the only two that we got.
Oh yeah.
Holy hell. For years, we've only had those two. I can't believe it. I've already been on almost 3 hours.
Hell yeah, man, get that grind up.
Yeah, while doing school. And I had my
Yeah, man.
job coach basically say I shouldn't be doing this anymore. I'm like, really? I could do it. I could dance around it.
Oh yeah.
I have weeks. I do mean weeks. I mean, I'm already in week 3 of 3, going into 4 of my semester, and I'm maintaining a 195 in my.
Nice.
Good shit.
That means I don't have to take finals. Yeah.
Well,
If I
yeah,
maintain it, by this point in May, no fucking finals for me.
Very nice.
That's actually in our codex thing. And did you see the Frontier Fighter thing? It's ridiculous. They actually added living, breathing lore to completing a mission in Star Citizen. That's the first time they've done that. Isn't it, Osprey?
I thought they did that with the Xenomorphs as well. Or not the Xenothreat, sorry.
Yeah, but it wasn't added to your actual journal. Like, warning attention, if you have actual rep with CDF, you're going to get stripped of it. It'll actually strip your reputation with CDF. So it's a cause and
I don't care about
effect.
them. I don't care about CFP either. Like Citizens for Prosperity. They're
Yeah.
Pirate belongs to the fucking pirates, man. Like we're running this. Like we're winning with the headhunters right now. Like
Well,
I've
yeah.
been clowning on CFP players this past week. Like just, I'll ride into their planet. I'll light them up. I'll land, do my objective, and get out.
Uh-huh.
They're just writing Pirates of the Caribbean, but in space.
Mm-hmm.
It's the British versus the pirates.
You mean the English maritime forces versus the pirates? And we know how that worked. The pirates won.
Oh yeah.
I mean, people can say, "Oh yeah, piracy went bye-bye in the golden age of piracy." No.
No, it's still very relevant.
There's still plenty of pirates out there.
Including those of us who sail the high sea.
Yeah, if you're going out into the Black Ocean, you better fucking bring a gun.
Well,
If you're going out way out, you better bring a gun. If you're going to uncharted sea, you better bring a gun.
I'm not even talking about ocean. I'm talking about the ocean of the internet.
Oh yeah, that too, yeah. I'm talking about like real life pirates on boats.
Most of them are near Somalia and places. That's the most
They are, but
active
they're
zone.
everywhere, though.
But I'm not talking about that during this stream. Because, yeah, it's... definitely been one of those... See, the thing that made me click with Elite for the longest time over Star Citizen was their active lore system in the background. Now, it looks like Star Citizen's trying to go for that. You know what I mean? Because now we have this stuff where if you complete a major event, like what just went down, in Pyro and Stanton, there will be long-range, long-reaching consequences for all parties, right? And it will become part of lore. So I could be wrong, but I think this is the first time in the game's history that it's actually done that. Osprey.
Yeah.
Which one's Brian and which one's not?
I'm black.
You're Brian?
Yeah.
Well, you know what I'm talking about, Brian. This is the first time they've had cohesive lore that actually affects the very foundation of the game. I don't think they've done that before prior to this. All last year, none of that. This has been a slow burn to this. This is things like, and you know what? It brings up some implications. Implications like the Charon Civil War, right? There are two belligerents in that. The Charon 3 Civil War is between two martial nations on one planet. The UAE has a stake in it because it's technically a UAE country, colony. But the two nations are fighting with anybody who invades their airspace. But like everybody else, the colonists are getting tired of the drawn out fighting. Backstory, Let me see. There it is. Charon 3 was originally known as Haros, settled terrestrial planet. It was colonized in the 26th century by the UAE. It's currently locked in a bit of war between the independent states of Dillon and Akron. Yeah, I love how this civil war is just tearing this planet apart. But you know how things are. These folks are going to have to agree to disagree eventually. You know? Hate to tell them that, but yeah. Right?
The way she goes, man.
Well, I'm expecting this to be a multi-level, like negotiation kind of mission system. You know, like multiple people trying to either unify this planet or making, one would make it the pro UEE planet system, and the other would have a plan for them to become their own independent system and drive out everybody except people who are there to sell wares to their settlements. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I could see the negotiating table. I could see Citizens for Prosperity leading up the negotiations between Dylan and Acheron, as an intermediary. Them, I would join them for that, because they would have to have armed security, because Acheron would probably hire assassins, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I forget what they're doing in Pyro. If they become a branch of the UE, you can't really do much about them. You know? I don't think they're going to change Pyro super much. Why? Look at Magnus. It's almost the same as Pyro, except just slightly less violent. So there's still like millions of murders each year.
Those rookie numbers, soon to get those up.
True.
Yo, what up, bro?
Yeah, in the monthly report they mentioned weather. Some weather stuff. Like ground fog, rain shadows, and at the very end,
Trump charging into a goblin's nest, kissing goblins, goblin vomit.
Oh, Brian, I didn't know you wouldn't get to them.
Yup.
Yo.
We gonna run over to Rough Landing, or what are you doing over here?
I was doing a mission over here. There's a guy in a there's a player, a friendly player in one of the buildings.
Oh, okay.
Because I think I accidentally blew up his ship.
I saw shit further out.
all right.
Ask him if he needs a lift. I'll pick him up.
Is this the player? No, this isn't the player.
By the way, you might want to get used to flying long distances, Osprey, because Nyx might be coming third quarter. A lot of the big guys, streamers I know personally that I've been on their channels before, like Pub and all them, they've let loose with loose lips, there's a very real possibility system number 3 might be stream late this year or at least third quarter. Not again. Who the hell is calling it? Almost 8 o'clock at night. I have to hang up. Just gonna have to mute for a minute.
You're good, buddy.
There's friendly players over here. At least I think he's friendly. I mean, he doesn't have much choice. He's in this building.
I'm gonna refuel real quick.
I don't think they have landing services. But I think if they do,
Did you see the WTF subscriber promotions for February? Don't give it to anyone except your worst enemies.
are they that bad?
Oh yeah, it's bad. It's like all this fluffy, frilly crap.
Oh my god, we were literally just.
I wanted to
Let me stop
die.
earlier.
I wanted to die seeing it. I was like, what is this? Why?
The last thing we need in Pyro is bootlickers and furries, you know?
This is worse. This is Hearts and Valentine's Day shit. Have a look. That's from the subscriber store. It's like collectible.
Valentine's Day. They clearly don't know their target audience with this game.
Meh. I'm just gonna say no this year, even though it got one of it for free. I'm gonna use it for target practice. Well, I'm just saying, you know, I could use it for target practice. Free target.
The amount of collision warnings that keep going off. Is funny.
It's because I keep passing behind you.
Either way, I'll be more interested when Nyx is in because hopefully by then we have some more stability. How are the patches for you though?
Pyro's been fire. Everything's broke as hell when you're in Stanton, though.
Apart from elevators and this weird thing that happens when if you don't store your ship before you leave a hangar, what happens is it's like say like you've got either furniture or items inside your ship.
Uh-huh.
And if you leave your hangar without storing your ship first, right? And you go back into your hangar and then you pull your ship out again, your vehicles will be there in the ship. Any vehicles you put in the ship will be there. But as soon as you go to take any, like, as soon as you basically any equipment, anything, any other items are going to be gone. Essentially, like it doesn't remember it from that instance. Essentially,
It's hilarious.
so I have lost a lot of items because of that. Essentially, and it's annoying, but it's like one of them. It's like, okay, well, at least there's a workaround, allegedly, but you know.
I think it's kind of funny. Personally, you know.
It's yeah. I mean, depending on how you look at it, it can be funny, but it's just frustrating. They're wanting the game to work, which for the most part, doing missions and stuff works, right? But like,
Sadly, this is very clearly a patch that needed more time in the oven.
yeah, but I'm glad they're just releasing stuff now instead of being like, well, it's going to be coming with this play, it's going to be coming there. Like, just release it and then like fix it on the go.
Yeah,
Quite honestly.
I do notice that
Yeah.
in this monthly report, they mentioned something about the release something or another. I don't know. No, get away from that. It was somewhere in here they mentioned something. I'm trying to remember what they were talking about. It was something about bugs, you know. And just that. I have to blow my nose here. They've already talked last week of January, which would have been last week. They've already talked to plan the what did I do? They're already planning the 2025 and 2026 roadmaps. So they're going beyond just this year. You know, for the roadmap of the roadmap of the roadmap. You don't know the joke, do you?
Roadmap for a roadmap. Okay.
It's a joke. They made up for the PU roadmap because they kept delaying it all last year. They're already planning out for the 2026 roadmap. That's going to be interesting. They're going to share in the coming months. How about weeks, not months, folks? Right?
I suppose. But I mean, the more stuff they end up just releasing rapid fire, like.
I mean, I'm just saying, tentative. All you have to do is put the word tentative. You know?
Right.
That's all people have to do. Put the word tentative. Meaning, what does it mean? Subject to change. This amazes me how many people make. What's that?
So my bowel movements have been tentative lately, that's for sure.
Pretty much.
But no, I think it's shaping up to be a good year for the game. If not a few frustrating bugs.
Yeah, the transit refactor would make a lot of people happy.
What are they doing with that?
Oh, they're having to refactor it because it's in such bad shape.
Are they changing it to like instead of like stuff like elevators physically moving, are they just gonna teleport now?
No, they're changing it so it doesn't yeet.
Oh. So I think they should just get rid of like the whole like the elevators moving around is kind of silly to begin with. Like they should just have the elevators like teleport. Because there's a lot less issues involved with it.
Well, you and me both, but unfortunately, we're not the designers in this role, so. Unfortunately. From what I've heard, though, they must have some level of confidence because Paul Shelley, you know, Astropod, and a bunch of other people, including Board Gamer, have been notified that Nyx is somehow planned for either third quarter or toward end quarter of this. And I'm like, how? But maybe I shouldn't even ask questions if they're already throwing out, okay, we're going to throw out system number 3 out too. So, yeah.
Well, they were saying like last year or the year before, they were saying, well, you know, Pyro has been a test bed for them to test out a lot of the tools to then go and build other systems going forward, right? And so we've seen now with Pyro, like, just the sheer scale of it. Like, it's much bigger than fucking Stanton. Much bigger than Stanton. Much more varied biomes.
Much more things to do, more detailed space stations, more developed flora, fauna, everything, pretty much.
Like, we tried going back to Stanton, and we were just like, we hate it. Everything was too clean. It was all too clean.
Everything's too sterile. The word is sterile. It feels sterile.
Yeah. It's like, I want to be able to customize the inside of my ship. Like, I'm a fucking pirate, you know? Like, I'm a mercenary.
There was something...
Action, you know what I mean?
There was something they mentioned about Stanton. They were talking about it being in a certain phase. Let me see if I'm looking for it. Oh, here it is. Ongoing review of Stanton, meaning they're polishing it this year. They've said nothing about that. Okay, here it is during AI content. The Stanton landing zones will get bespoke air traffic control guards, which they've needed for a long time. You know, their own individuality for ATC, right?
Yeah.
Because I can imagine a gruff suit for, not ArcCorp, but Hurston. You know, somebody saying, hey, your parking's over there, right? Or something like that.
Yeah.
And then we have Orison, like, welcome to Orison Air Traffic Control. How may I assist you?
Like, all very sort of, like, yeah.
Posh and
Sort
polite.
of personalities of all the, yeah.
ArcCorp would be like, this is ArcCorp ATC. How may I direct your flight path? Right?
Yeah.
Now, let me see. Microtech. Greetings. This is Microtech ATC. Please transmit your transponder so we can get your hangar ready. Right?
Something like that.
Something like that. Yeah.
Because I think Orison and Microtech would be quite similar, and I think ArcCorp and Lorville would be a bit more.
ArcCorp would be still fairly decent to you, but Lorville would just be rough and gruff.
Yeah.
You know, ArcCorp would be more of a neutral personality. You know, Grimhex would be the negative Nancy of all of them. They just keep the death guy. He's perfect.
Yeah.
Welcome to Grimhex. And then they'd add to it and say, sorry about that. How may I direct your hangar? And you're thinking in my head, who did he kill today? Right?
Yeah.
See, they could add to that one. But then, where they're also, it says they're undergoing an ongoing review of Stanton, meaning they're looking for improvements to the current Stanton, but otherwise, Stanton is quote unquote at a level of finish, but they're looking to basically polish it out and move on to other systems, right?
Mm-hmm.
Which to me suggests a couple of things, Garrus. You are being transmitted, by the way. I am streaming. Sorry. Should have said that.
Oh.
But I'm sure my viewers would like to hear your opinion. They probably agree with you. I think this means the debate over the gate stations is over. They won't be happening. If they do happen, the gateway stations between ArcCorp, the outer and inner system. The fact that they're already in a review phase of Stanton, they're probably going to decide whether they're going to add him or not. Which I doubt they will, because it'll be detrimental, right? I mean, they could, but
So, do you mean they're going to be adding them for, like,
the security
each of the
purposes.
jump points?
No.
Security. Okay.
The gateway stations between the inner and outer system. In the asteroid belt.
So, like, before you go to, so you got the gateway being the jump points between.
No. The gateway stations in the asteroid belt, the Aaron Halo. Those.
I haven't heard about those.
Oh, you haven't? Okay.
No.
Well, they have long been not on the will they happen, won't they happen kind of list. So a lot of people, I'm thinking almost with this review, I'm leaning toward they probably are going to write them off.
I mean, honestly, it's like, what purpose do they serve? If it's like it doesn't really serve a purpose,
And they're huge
like,
too.
gameplay wise, or like if there's no
Real beneficial reason to have.
there's no substantial value to those locations. It's kind of like, well, why add them?
Exactly. That's my point. If they're not there for a valid reason, why add?
Yeah. It's just kind of like adding stuff for the sake of. I mean, and by all means, flush out, locations, make places feel lived in.
I can think of a couple of things they can add to Stanton that would flesh the system's uniqueness out a bit. In lore, they mention a fifth object orbiting the star, and it's a cometary object. It's basically called the Bayer Comet. And you know how small comets are. They're very tiny. They could use it as like an irregular moon base, Maybe it's occupied and in an elliptical orbit, So when the planets do move, this guy would swoop in, say from twice as far out as Microtech, right? To about... Can you imagine riding that thing through the system? That'd be fun.
That would be kind of interesting, because it's like, how are you going to land on something moving that fast? I mean, I know speed is relative in space and everything, which is kind of why I don't understand the speed caps, like the absolute speed limit.
I think when you're in the gravity well of the object, it'll compensate,
Right.
Still, don't make it just a super tiny comet. Hale-Bopp's almost 60 kilometers. So this guy could be like a super comet, maybe 180 in IRL, but still tiny, like it'd be 60 kilometers in 180 in 1/3, it'd be 30 kilometers across in in game, right? No, I'm wrong on the side, aren't I? Because 3 times 9 is 270.
I think if they're gonna if they're adding something like that in the game, they need to make that something that can be player controlled. Because
it'll probably be a contestable object. It'll be unoccupied. You know what I mean? Just some random mining object. There might be a nearby research station orbiting it, but that might be it. The actual object. Get it?
Or they could do it like have you done the Pay-M? The Pay-M
the what
stuff in Pyro?
Oh,
the
the milk.
PM exchange.
Oh, that no.
Oh, I was gonna say that. So we did that, and actually, Osprey's actually got a PM cutlass.
Yeah, it's pretty sick.
That we had a friend help us get. They kind of guided us through it. It took about 2 hours all in. I think 2 hours all in all
Nice.
to do it.
It was like
Maybe a
3.
little longer. I'm not sure. 3 hours, yeah. That was a really, really fun gameplay loop because it's like you had to hit up 3 different stations, collect like 7 different key cards, and then head to one of 3 stations near the star in Pyro, and then you had to wait for a timer thing basically in order to insert the cards, and then you have to go into the hangar. And you have like a very limited amount of time to loot the place, get the ship, and then get out before the doors close. And it was a really fun gameplay loop because it was a lot of combat. It was a lot of searching for stuff. It actually felt like going through a game. Like it actually felt like you were actually progressing to something rather than just, oh, I'm just going to do a mission here, get some money. Do a mission here, get some money. Oh, look, now I have enough to buy X ship, right? Because it's like once you've got something like a reclaimer, it's kind of just, okay, we've got the reclaimer, let's do salvaging, make a couple of million, buy every single ship that I want to buy, and then it's like, okay, what's the point in playing, right?
Right.
And so the PM exchange type stuff, it's like, okay, well you have the chance to get 4 different unique
A lot
ships.
different from
It's like,
Xeno Threat.
yeah. And so if they were to do something like that with the Comet, where it's like, hey, you've got to go and do all these prerequisites before you even get to the Comet, and maybe you get like, I don't know, maybe there's a secret Banu like laboratory on the Comet, right? And you get a specialized version of the Banu Defender, or some other ship, right?
I could imagine going there for a rare commodity that's only in that region of the system. Because think about it, it's way beyond the snow line. On Microtech, you have frozen water. On a comet like this, you might have different ices, right? Frozen methane, nitrogen, things from the deep system, right?
Right.
And it's rare because in the condition it's in, you have to take a prospector because the rocks on the surface are so hard, hand mining ain't going to do it for you.
Okay, that's an interesting.
Well, think about it. Out there, okay. Neptune's moon Triton, for example, IRL. The rock is so hard, it's like concrete, steel rebar hardness due to the temperature, minus 200 degrees below zero. We're talking frozen ass, cold. It'll freeze your ass solid if you step foot out there unprepared. Even a Caldera or whatever suit probably won't provide you much protection long,
No. Man, I died on Pyro 1 recently because it was too hot.
Yeah, you see what I'm saying? Even
Irony
those
is I'm back at Pyro 1 right now.
those popular suits, I think there's going to be a new generation of suits. More of them. I think you're going to have Frostline and Magma suits. Magma are going to be the ones for the absurdly hot conditions.
Well, we already have those, don't we?
No, we have Caldera and Pinbrook. Those are the low-end environmental suits. Series. But I'm talking about Magma would be able to take lava damage, maybe light lava damage. Like in real life, you think.
See, that's where I think. So we've got the Atlas suit, which is like it's cool, but it's kind of useless. I'm not gonna lie. Like it's just use a max lift. But they think I think what they need to do, they need to give us more suits similar to the Atlas, but actual like fully enclosed, like mechanized suits, and I think that's where sort of those environments would call for that, because it's not just a suit that you put on, right? It's not just like an undersuit, a helmet. Like this is a full-on vehicle, right? It's more close to a vehicle than an actual suit, if that
Right.
makes sense. I think we need more of that in the game, because if it's like you've got content or certain locations, access to certain locations locked behind environmental factors, like you've got to go into this.
Oh, there's gonna be.
And there's caves, like evil villainous lair type things, right?
Yeah.
That would be kind of cool. It'd be kind of cool to see that, and of course, we've still got the alien-like systems and planets. And
There's
whatnot.
a system that the Xi'an uses a prison that have lava as one of the main reasons for keeping their human prisoners.
That should be interesting.
Oh yeah, it's terrifying.
Okay.
It's a lava-covered world. It's absolutely insane. It's barbecue and hot. I forget the name of it, but it's in a Xi'an system, of course. But yeah, Titan suits are also gonna be locked behind water, underwater. You're gonna have high pressure due to water displacement.
Now, so here's the thing. I don't understand why the ships can't go underwater.
There probably will be specific ones. I think the Pisces, the way it's designed, should be allowed to become like a
Or the
shallow depth submersible, or the Carrack maybe.
What's the name of it? The Reliant.
Reliant looks like a
I think they're
Stingray.
Reliant. Exactly right. A lot of the MISC ships, I think a lot of the MISC ships should definitely be able to like be submersible, because you think like MISC and who's the alien, the one who makes the Sulan and the
Xi'an. They're aquatic
Xi'an.
looking species too. The turtle-y lookings.
Things that you think, well, actually might go buy a fucking a Reliant. I think the Reliant's a really cool looking ship. Like, it just doesn't have enough guns. I think that's the issue with the Reliant. It's like it's so long and thin. You think it's kind of like a giant sail. Why not just give it the Corsair treatment?
Right.
And just put guns all over it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think there should be a variant of the Reliant like that. That would be pretty cool. Like a pirate sort of themed Reliant, and that's what I'd like to see more of in the game. Because if you look at sort of Star Citizen's biggest competitor, which some even say is the better game, but I mean, having played that game for many years and dropped it to play SC, you look at Elite Dangerous. There's a lot of ships in that game that could be either that are like special variants of ships, or straight up customized to look like pirate vessels and things like that, right?
Right.
Or have more hard points than others do, and things like that. It's like, well,
I just got a Connie. Let's go get fucked, kid.
One of the things I'm waiting for with that game is colonization, which should open up more doors for Elite. Because Elite is technically stagnant. We're just post, what is it, the Thargoid War?
Yeah.
And it's kind of in one of those fog type scenarios.
Well, apparently they're moving more towards the power play. Apparently the Imperials are gonna be trying to make the Imperials move towards the federal space.
What I'm going to be doing with my group is I'm going to be trying to establish a Guardian branch of the bubble. You know, slowly stretch the bubble toward Guardians. There are colonies that direction that would aid in that growth, you know? For
That's a
this,
big task.
what is it called? The Snafu sector, right?
Something like that.
The nearest large colony is, of course, Canopus. It's going to take some time, probably a couple of years, you know, but I could probably start stretching toward Canopus. You know?
I think that's where the fleet carriers come in. 'cause
Yeah.
it's like
I think they're going
the
to
stations
start.
and stuff.
What's that?
I was gonna say, like, players helping build the creation of like new stations and things. It is a very slow process, and I think, you know, fleet carriers. You park a fleet carrier somewhere, and you've got it outfitted for XYZ. It's basically just, you know, a station, like straight up just a mobile station, right?
See, I'm not going to build directly in Guardian space, but what I'm going to do is set up a colony adjacent to Canopus, you know? When I get in the area, you know, within X number of light years, right?
Yeah.
I don't know how far. I think they said initially you'll only be able to extend it 10 light years outside the bubble. Initially, you know. They said they're going to do some testing to see if they can make it even further. I'm hoping they eventually give us the gap of like 50 to 60, you know? Because some of the stars out there get huge gaps, right? You know what I'm talking about, Garis.
Quite a lot of space. Yeah. Like, if you don't have an Anaconda engineered, or, you know, again, a fleet carrier, there's a lot of systems that
you're going to skip over. But you see my reasoning, right? The Guardian systems are interesting because they have a lot of high-end weaponry, valuable commodities, and I'm looking at it from the mercantile. When is that update available, by the way?
Which one is that?
Is it the 27th, I believe?
I'm not actually too sure. I've not been following it too closely. I know a friend of mine has. But personally, I haven't been.
Don't worry about it. I'll find out. I'm about to earn my second check from Twitch guys.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah. This month has been pretty slow for finances, but that's okay. It's only been, I've only earned 3.8, one subscription and some change, but it's still early. You know, that was for January.
Right.
I mean, everything before the 1st is pretty much just January's input. Sitting at 36.61 for my next check. It'll be $50 when I have to earn it. So I have $14 more to earn. 14 something, you know. Which
that's not too bad.
It'll probably take me another couple of months to get there, though. I'm gonna have to check my food here in a bit too. I'll probably be back on here tomorrow afternoon to watch SCL with you guys because it's gonna be a 2-hour thing, and I'm gonna have to dissect it, right, Osprey?
Yeah.
Because that's gonna be a long one. I have classes tomorrow though, so I need to go eat.
I got you, man.
I apologize, Garth, that we're having to cut this conversation.
Oh no, it's no worries, man. Like honestly, like I enjoy I enjoy the opportunity to actually just be able to talk to you about that stuff. So
Oh, my computer. All right. Raid somebody. Who should I raid?
it's a very good question.
Well, let's raid somebody who's a friend. No. There we go. Raid Paul. He's always so nice to me. Paul the Merchant Man Shelley. 07 everyone. See you guys tomorrow.